Ladies and gents, boys and girls, for your entertainment, here's an update on the Fairmont. So, I did go to the dyno. I did go to the track. I have nothing amazing either way. Car did good both times. The dyno, it made 770 to the tire on 15 pounds. I'm reading my bullet points here. Can you believe that? 770 on 15 pounds. I have video of it making a nearly 800 horsepower pull on the dyno, and it is so uneventful. I'll post it in the front of this video. You'll see it before you see me. Thank God. Yeah, I didn't want to... 770 was enough to go extremely fast, and that was a day when it was like 95 degrees, so the dyno bay was like 102. What do I got here? Yeah, so it made good power. I've been driving it around. I've been ironing out the transmission. So I went to the track, and it was a rental. We do it every year around this time. I was nervous about how it would do on the foot brake. I even thought about putting a dry kit on in case it was cutting like 2 O's. So I had a problem. The car never does this except for the track, right? That's how it goes. I'd foot brake it decent. What was happening there is I had more traction with the rear tires, and it would push the fronts through the beam. Front tires locked up, shove them through. It was cutting a 1.8, so I made 5 passes. Best one was a 1.8. Technically, the only time it came off the line was a 1.8. For whatever reason, it was limping. And it wasn't what I thought it was one of my safeties, and I was chasing my tail. And what it ended up being was the throttle would limp. So I would foot brake it, I'd let go, and it would go, blah. It would limp it down to like 18% throttle. I key cycled it going down the track coasting, and then I got it running, and yeah, it was extremely fast, and it was shifting gears. It was really nice, but just couldn't get it all together. But that's what the shakedowns are all about. My one pass where it 60'd good, cut the 1.8. I was pretty happy with that. It hit second and spun real bad, and then I lifted, and it went up into like 4th just because it upshifts because I lifted. And then for fun, I'm like, why don't I smash it quick? Because it was like 400 foot out, I think. I'm like, I'll just hit it and see if it downshifts and shifts right. It did. It did great. And it flew through the 8th. I lifted right after the 8th, and it coasted in 11:44 after a 1.8 60 foot spinning through second, flooring it from like 330 to 660 to the 8th. Lifted, coasted 11:44 at 109. I think my 8th was faster than that. I have to dig up the time slip. I've got some work to do. It took me a while to find out it was limping the throttle, not just the safety kicking on. I expected all this since it's the first time the car has been out since buying it, out to the track. So that's the stuff that happens. You can't do that on the street. Well, some people can, right? You guys are going to... I don't think anybody will be weird in the comments, but that's the first thing that comes to my mind is some no prep dude's going to be like, bah, 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 bah. And that's true, but that's not this car. Anyway, I didn't do any pics or videos at the track because I just wanted to get a good pass, and I didn't want to have to deal with setting up all the cameras the whole time. I wanted to concentrate on the car, and even then it took me a little bit to figure it out, and then I ran out of time. Some people videoed stuff. I'll throw all of that stuff in. Again, it's very unexciting because the throttle limps, but I'll put them all up in clips and you can watch them. Yeah, some people got video. I'll show it. They're not amazing. Car isn't doing anything amazing, and that's no fault of my friends that videoed. That's the points that I wrote. Anyway, that's a bunch of updates so far. Weather's getting better for racing. I've been driving it a lot. It is weeping a little bit out of the water pump. it has been doing that. Sometimes you drive it 7 days a week and it leaks coolant once. Like it just pees a little bit, and it must be the water pump going bad, so I gotta do that next. It's a used water pump from the 200-some thousand mile LY6. It's the stock pump, so that's not true. It's not a stock truck pump. I don't know what it's from. I think it's LSA. Either way, needs to get sorted. Yeah, anyway, that's the summary. Let me know if you have specific questions about it, but yeah, I'll put the videos in front. The video of it on the dyno, some of you are going to get silly because it was smoking on D-cell, but the issue was my turbo drain. I did a really poor job on setting up my turbo drain, and it had a 90, and on the dyno with enough oil flow, it was struggling to get back in. So I put a 45 on it, and it's much better. It has almost, I don't think it has smoke at all when you lift now, miraculously. But yeah, let me know what you think. It does pretty good on the street. It put down 800 rear wheel in third gear, second spins sometimes, depending on road surface. So those are the updates. I thought I would have something more exciting, but that's not always the way it goes. But the car did survive. I mean, technically I had no issues other than it limping, and I don't know. I've never been able to reproduce that. So I've been trying for like 2 days to reproduce it. Obviously, even in the parking lot at the track, I was trying to reproduce it, just sitting there trying to figure it out, and it wouldn't do it, of course. So I would do a burnout, and I would line up, and I'd foot brake, and the car would go, duh. I'm sure everyone was like, look at this idiot. Either way, the car is doing good, I guess. I mean, 770 rear wheel and not breaking anything at the track is a pretty good day. It was a nice day, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Hope you enjoy. Bye.